welcome to another episode of the
Ouais,
Red
je monte un peu
Stream.
le son quand même.
My name is Amelia Kowat and I'm a Senior Community Manager at CD Projekt. And today we'll be talking about
Alors,
upcoming patch
c'est quoi ce patch?
2.2.
Yep.
So you probably guessed it already that, we will be talking about the patch. But before we dive right into it, let me introduce our very cool guest. So as always, with me is Alicia Kozera.
Happy to be here again.
Alors, par contre,
One and only
JC
everyone
Cresson,
knows the
voilà,
guy
merci pour
from
l'information.
Pasco.
It's a pleasure to be here as always.
Alors du coup, on a des personnes de la communication et aussi du développement.
And someone you didn't meet yet, but now is the chance. It's
Vous me dites si vous
Pauline
entendez en
Debro,
double parce que j'ai
our
enlevé mon
lead
casque.
producer from Virtuos.
I'm very glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Always
Pavel
our
le GOAT,
pleasure.
bien sûr, le GOAT.
So, our topic today is update 2.2,
Update
which will be
2.2.
coming soon, but we'll talk about it a little bit later. And this specific update has been developed
Alors, c'est
together
développé
with
avec
Virtuos.
Virtuos.
So who is Virtuos, Pauline?
Virtuos, so we are a company that was founded in 2004. We're one of the biggest developers in the world, and our mission is to help and support other studios, like yours, for example, to create their video games. We do quests, we do DLCs, levels, art assets.
Français.
And we have a lot of multicultural teams that have been very lucky to work with, for example, Ubisoft, Activision, and and today I'm working in the Paris studio. We have 3 studios in France with more than 300 talents, and I'm very happy to be here and to have worked with CDPR on this one.
Exactly, and it was a big pleasure for me to collaborate with the Virtuos on this update for you, my dears.
Okay, so during the stream today, we will go through the biggest changes, biggest feature of the patch, but as usual, we cannot talk
Ok,
about
donc en gros, ils vont
everything,
faire un point sur les
but
éléments.
we'll
Par contre, ils
go
ne
down
vont
to
pas
the
parler de
later
tout. Il y aura un patch note qui arrivera juste après.
everything in detail.
Virtuos, en gros, ils travaillent.
And before we go, we are not live, unfortunately, with you.
Ils sont pas en live d'ailleurs aussi. Par contre, en gros, ils travaillent sur des DLC, ils travaillent sur des éléments en jeu, etc. Ils ont travaillé avec Ubisoft, Activision, etc. Et Virtuos, c'est français. Et donc, c'est en collaboration avec CD Projekt pour cette update de Cyberpunk.
Okay, but before we dive into the whole, meat and details about all the features you guys worked on and prepared for the community, what was the thought behind the
Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il
update
y a
2.2?
Yeah, so like I realized when working on the previous patches for Cyberpunk 2077 that it always worked well for our players when there was like a consistent, cohesive thought behind a patch. When we shipped 1.6, which was the Edge Runners update, all of our players just loved that fact that there was some Edge Runners content, and they sort of knew and felt, okay, what was the intent, behind it. When we shipped 2.1, which was the Ultimate Edition, it was a similar situation. Players knew that, okay, we are adding features to really make the game feel like an ultimate version of Cyberpunk, something.
C'est une boîte extérieure, ça appartient pas à CD Projekt.
So with the patch 2.2, we were looking together with Gabe Amatengel, our game director, for an inspiration idea, what actually update for Cyberpunk we want to do. And pretty early we had this idea of we would love to give our players a way to express themselves more.
Ok, une façon pour les gens de plus s'exprimer dans l'univers de Cyberpunk, custom de véhicules, ça me paraît clair. Et le patch s'appelle Express Yourself.
That patch, you will see that a lot of the things that we have added actually comes down to this one thought, an idea that you yourself as a player, as V, you can build your own character and really express yourself the way you
Donc c'est toujours
look,
dans l'idée de s'exprimer.
the cars you drive, the place you have, and all kinds of things.
Attendez.
But you will see that it all has this one thought behind it, and I hope you enjoy it.
I mean, it's a very cohesive theme with cyberpunk genre in
Évidemment,
general.
tout ça, c'est
Exactly. In
lié
Cyberpunk, you have a lot of those, taglines,
au Cyberpunk, au global, on va dire.
About the substance, about the look,
Avoir son look, son style, tout ça.
So we actually worked
Ça va arriver, je pense, ces images.
The Virtuos team on various updates, upgrades, and
c'est vrai que tu vois jamais ton perso.
Yes. I mean, we're going
Enfin,
to
presque.
start with something that our players already know a little bit. So crystal code, we've already introduced it to a couple of cars in Cyberpunk 2077, but we're expanding.
Absolutely. So it was only available for refilled
Donc
cars.
pour les refilled,
And now
pour les
it,
voitures
partnered up
refilled,
with one of the 4 of the biggest brands of cars.
ils ont fait un
And,
partenariat.
we redid the UI.
Ils ont
the
refait
interface
l'UI,
is, we added
l'interface.
some features in it. So yeah, we can't wait for the players to try it.
Ok.
So we're going to be able to change colors of much more cars than we used to.
The one from Herrera, Quadra, Mizutani.
On peut changer les
and
couleurs de
Vilfort, yeah.
caisse.
Awesome. Wow.
Exactly,
Right,
exactly. So like pretty much all the sport brands and
Yeah.
luxury brands now fully supported. And,
D'accord,
you
donc
know,
déjà on a le
the
custom de
Virtuos team
véhicules.
actually did a great job with,
Voilà à quoi ça
really
ressemble.
upgrading the whole feature in a way.
Par
Because,
contre, on
like,
peut le
we
faire en
put
temps réel quand
a
on
lot
roule.
of effort into the UI, into various options. There's actually loads
Ok.
of different small
Ok,
upgrades
ok.
that you can
Non, mais
find there,
ok.
so that you can really
D'accord.
like the best car that you have that you like driving around. Now you can also have them in almost any color you want. And I think like what's interesting on top of that is that we have also added an option to change like a saturation and hue.
Changer la
of that
saturation,
color. So it's not only the color, but now
etc.
you can
Ok,
also
non,
just
pas mal
make
de
it more
trucs
intense. You know, if you wanted your paint
sur les couleurs.
to be
Alors c'est
kind
pas
of
sur
light,
toutes les
then you
voitures
can
du
do it.
jeu. Hein.
Oh, so you can really express yourself
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that.
But like, you know, obviously some players know how it works, but some might not. How exactly does it work? What you have to do
Attends, on
to
peut transférer les
change the
couleurs.
color of
Attends, on
your
peut
car?
choper les couleurs d'autres
So you
caisses
open
pour
the
les mettre sur
menu,
soi.
And then
Sur sa voiture.
you can just choose there is a wheel, and you can choose one first color and another one. And then you have sliders on the side, and you just like play with it. You can change the color of the lights also. And then
Couleur des lumières,
yeah,
etc.
you can-
Même sur les roues en particulier.
That's pretty much
En
it.
fait,
And on the side of the lore, the way we wanted to do it is that Rayfield developed that technology.
un peu
for
plus,
the
c'est aussi le fait
crystal
qu'effectivement il a
code that we
raison.
introduced in patch 2.12.
Il y a eu
and
c'est dans le lore
what
par
we
rapport à
wanted to do
Rayfield,
here
etc.
is
donc,
now in
ça
our
passe.
lore,
Excellent.
Rayfield partner.
Par contre, on
partnered
peut vraiment
with
scanner
couple
les
new,
pantônes d'ailleurs et les
brands,
mettre sur la
basically.
caisse.
So this time you can see the crystal code actually executed tiny bit differently on those cars.
Ouais, bah. Par contre,
because
j'aurais
of
pas de
course,
gameplay,
the
ça a jamais
intent,
été dit et
that's
ça a même été
obvious. We
réfuté
really want to
hier.
make sure that
Donc pour le
all
coup,
the features that we are adding into our game, they contribute to the lore and to the world. You know, that it all feels consistent.
Okay.
ok.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense, but I'm sad that my mime still cannot be pink.
Fingers crossed.
Yes,
fingers
fingers crossed.
Okay, so apart from crystal code, there is obviously something else we can do with a car.
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a d'autre?
What is that? What's the twin tone option?
Well, the twin tone option is the possibility to scan
c'est ça.
any car in Night City, and you can have some unique patterns or also generic colors, and then add it to your own car. So you can go to 10 generic paint
Donc
jobs,
c'est
5 unique.
10 peintures.
What is important to specify is that if you scan a Vilfort car, it will be a unique paint job for Vilfort car. It will be applicable for your Vilfort, and yeah, that's a new scanning option. You can
Essaie de le montrer un petit peu avant,
So
vous
the
avez
twin
un peu
tone, this
capté.
is a new feature
c'est
in
le
a
twin tone,
database
ok.
of basically paint jobs that was introduced this time by Kiroshi. So it's a new
J'allais dire, c'est
technology
dommage
by
que ce soit
Kiroshi.
fait avec la
And,
Rayfield, mais en fait, c'est un
imagine
peu
that when
logique en
you're
même temps.
driving to the Night City, you can see a great car, you know, passing by. Maybe it's like, you know, a golden, you know, a
j'avais pas
Quadra
capté,
VTEC
pardon,
that
je
you
vois la couleur
really
des phares.
love. You can look at it, and basically now in a new tab, you'll see in a twin tone an option to basically save that in your database, exactly as Pauline was just explaining. And then from there, you can actually apply it to your cars. And I really love it because like that twin tone is actually
contre,
basically a database. So
ça
outside of
confirme
just
bien ce que
scanning,
je
you can also
pense.
store it there, you can
Vu que
save
c'est
it, right?
Virtuos
You
qui
can
l'a fait,
remove those you don't
je
like.
pense qu'effectivement, il y
So
a plus
there's
personne
also
qui
this
bosse sur
aspect
Cyberpunk
of
quasiment
collecting,
chez CD Projekt, et je pense
various
que
paint jobs.
si prochain
And me
patch il y a, ce
personally,
sera en
like,
collaboration
when I
avec
was,
d'autres
reviewing
acteurs
the feature
extérieurs
together with the
à
team,
CD Projekt.
when I was driving around the Night City, I really loved
C'est un
this
peu la match
feeling of just
Photoshop, ouais.
going somewhere, looking for the cars, exploring, and then I found something that I really liked. I scanned it.
Par
It
contre,
was
c'est vrai que
added there,
c'est
so
plutôt stylé dans le
it
délire où
adds
si
this
tu vois
like
une pièce
layer
que tu
of
kiffes bien,
exploration, but also
dans les
collecting,
couleurs,
making sure that I have
tu
the
peux
palette
choper, quoi.
of the colors that I really like.
La voiture, c'est un peu un
and one of
caméléon,
the cool
quoi.
things actually that the Virtuos team did is option to swap the colors. So let's say you found out that this hue of green with this hue of blue works really well for your car, and you saved it. You can now just really quickly swap the colors and basically replace the parts of the
Par contre,
car,
tu peux-
how they are painted, and to see how
attendez,
it looks in reverse.
J'ai mal vu,
pretty
ou tu peux carrément changer
I think
la
this
voiture en
also
tant que
lowers
telle.
the crime rates in Night City, so you don't have to steal cars. You just, you know, borrow their paint jobs.
Exactly, yeah.
Et ça a un impact
Okay,
aussi,
but,
donc
so
si
it's
jamais
cool to
tu es une
express
caisse
yourself
recherchée
again.
par les
How
keufs,
about, does it have
si
any
tu changes la
gameplay
couleur de ta
implications?
caisse,
Yeah, absolutely. If you change the color where you are chased by the police, you can disappear into Night City. So that's pretty
d'accord.
Ah.
Donc si tu changes la couleur de ta caisse,
Exactly. So
si tu es
you'll
poursuivi
see
par la
that
police, ils te retrouveront
the
pas.
profile, mismatch has been pointed out by NCPD.
Ouais,
and
c'est
you
pas
see
mal,
that,
c'est pas mal.
You know, they were looking for, I don't
Pas
know,
mal.
a red Herrera before, and then now suddenly you are in a golden one.
Yeah.
Therefore, you know, they still look for you. So if you will be like close to any of the police officers and so on, they'll still register you. However, if you stay away, you know, and you have a couple of levels of heat, eventually it actually fades out. So it's a pretty cool way to get away.
Yeah, like you go into one alley from one way, you change your color in the alley, and it's completely different car.
Exactly.
Does it work when you're driving a stolen car? So, for example, if I'm
Bah,
if I
c'est trop
just
cheaté,
don't
oui et non,
stop
parce qu'en fait,
the
si tu te
car,
rapproches trop, ils vont cramer qu'il y a un problème. Mais par contre, apparemment, ça peut t'aider dans certaines situations.
The twin tone specifically is a database that's attached to you as a player. So those, the whole crystal code and twin tone, this is dedicated for player cars.
So my own cars.
Correct.
not stolen.
exactly.
Okay, cool.
I mean, that makes sense, you know.
Of course.
You have access to your cars.
But speaking about stolen cars, you know, do we have something for our players to not steal cars anymore in Night City? To lower the crime a bit?
To lower the crime a bit. Well, I mean, as a players, as a developers, we of course look a lot into the player feedback, and we saw there was constantly people were asking about a couple of different cars that you can actually find in the city, but you couldn't own and you couldn't buy. And this is what the Virtuos team did. We have upgraded the auto fixer right now, so we are adding 10 new cars to the auto
Ils ont
fixer
aussi
website.
rajouté des voitures au truc autofixeur pour acheter les voitures.
Two of them belong to the Phantom Liberty, so you have to own the Phantom Liberty to have it.
Il y en a deux aussi qui viennent de l'extension Phantom Liberty. Donc voilà, si vous les avez pas, ben, c'est normal. Si vous n'avez pas l'extension.
But there's a couple
Ok.
other that I know you will love.
Nice. And they will also feature crystal code and twin tone, right?
Yes, actually, that's a very good point. So if you go to the AutoFixer website and you look there, normally before you could see that the car is armed with either Gatling guns or rockets. Now you will also see the icon of a crystal
Ok, donc
code.
maintenant aussi,
So
parce
that
que
icon
dans les voitures
shows
que
you
vous
that
achetez,
that car actually
vous pouvez voir
supports
si
fully
elles
crystal
ont
code
la
and
techno
twin
Crystal
tone,
Coat
so that's how you
et
recognize
Twin
it.
Tone.
And if you go as a player to your vehicle
Et en gros, voir si
summoning
vous allez pouvoir
menu,
transformer un
and
peu
you go
les
through
couleurs.
the cars there, you could see maybe there are like small icons showing you the weapons there. Now you also have the crystal code
Et même
right
répliquer
there
les couleurs
as well. So you
que vous
know
avez
when
scannées
you're
ailleurs
summoning the
sur
car,
la
if you're
voiture.
summoning the one that uses the feature or not. And the thought
Voilà un
behind
peu le
it is
truc,
that we wanted to give more depth to our vehicles.
C'est pour donner plus de
and to do
profondeur
it
au
in a
véhicule.
way that various cars have various capabilities. Some of them are armed, some of them change colors, some of them have rockets. So it's pretty cool because you can kind of like craft it for yourself and really express yourself.
That's awesome. Okay, speaking of cars, we love collecting cars in Night City, in Cyberpunk, but we know that also Johnny was a very big fan of cars with his iconic
Ah oui, la
Porsche
Porsche
911.
C'est
So how about Johnny? He cannot drive the cars right now.
Johnny cannot drive the car, but he can spawn next to you, so that is pretty cool. Like there
Ah,
are some
donc
conditions.
Johnny peut être à côté
But when
de
he
toi dans la
spawns,
caisse
he
maintenant.
reacts. If you stare at him too long, he has some reactions. When you go
Bon, bah
through
voilà.
a wall, he can have some reactions.
Johnny est
too.
dans la caisse aussi
So
maintenant.
yeah, it's pretty cool. He can spawn in the front, in the back. So yeah, you have like a buddy next to you when you drive now.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's finally a road trip with Johnny.
Always with Johnny, like, you know, catch a break.
Yeah, and the intention of this is to just like increase the presence of Johnny as you are going through the story. At the moment when, of
Donc
course,
ça permet aussi d'augmenter la présence de Johnny aux côtés du joueur, aux côtés de V globalement. Ça permet d'augmenter sa présence au global. Ça a du sens qu'il soit avec nous quand on parcourt Night City, quoi. C'était un mode, ça je savais pas par contre. Bah, du coup c'est plus un mode maintenant.
And what I really love doing is taking pictures with him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, when he shows up and you can snap a good pic, you know, with Johnny in the car.
is there any moment when Johnny will not spawn?
Oh, yeah. When there is combat or when there is a passenger next to you, because Johnny cannot.
Donc, le moment où Johnny n'apparaît pas, c'est dans les combats en véhicule. Et aussi quand il y a un autre passager avec vous dans le véhicule de base, bien sûr.
Okay, so it's not like 100% that we're gonna
No,
have
there's actually a pretty complex, I would say, structure that really checks when he can spawn or not. That being said, as you are exploring the world, you will see him quite a bit.
Okay.
Like it won't be always, because when it's always, it may feel maybe a bit too fake. So we wanted to make it feel as authentic and natural
Alors
as
il n'est pas là
possible.
tout le temps.
He won't be present during like main story quests, because in most cases,
dans certaines parties
he has
d'exploration,
a
etc.
purpose in those quests. He's doing certain things,
Of course, yeah.
appearing in the scenes and so on. So when we added it, we wanted to make sure it, fits to the game as well as it only
Histoire que ce
can.
soit authentique dans le jeu et que ce soit pas forcé. Quoi, pour dire, ah, il y a Johnny, il est là tout le temps.
with my car, like crashing, going over people and check like Johnny's reaction.
Yeah, he's gonna insult you, things like that. No, I'm joking.
You mentioned you will be able to take a good picture with Johnny. So does it mean you will be able to use photo mode while Johnny is next to you as well?
Absolutely, yeah. You can use the photo mode, and that can be a pretty good, cool shot. Also with the Cheyenne Targa, I believe, because there is an open roof. So yeah, you can get a nice shot.
Taking Johnny on a ride.
Yeah, but speaking of photo mode, Amelia, this is one of our favorite
Là, c'est la partie
topics,
mode photo.
definitely.
Bon, là, c'est toujours la partie qui m'intéresse
so for a
peu moins.
very long time, we were watching you guys doing amazing shots.
Ah, on a
in
vu que
our
vous faisiez
photo
des
mode.
super
We
photos avec le
gathered
mode photo. On vous a
feedback
rajouté
from
4 filtres.
our
Allez, bonne
virtual
soirée.
photography community. And we
Bon,
managed
le mode
to
photo,
convince
c'est
those
toujours la
two
partie
to
un peu
actually
en mode,
include
oui,
some of
bon,
your stuff that you really wanted in the patch. So let's start with what's coming to photo mode. So maybe camera,
Caméra.
the biggest.
The camera was one of those biggest and probably most often requested features.
Alors
As
ça,
our
par
virtual
contre, si je puis me
photographers, our
permettre,
players,
c'est
felt
pas faux.
limited by the way how camera acted.
Parce que
So,
je me souviens que j'avais voulu faire une photo il y a 3 jours.
actually looked
J'ai abandonné très
to
vite.
make sure that we improve that quite a bit. And probably the most important thing is that
J'ai abandonné
right
très
now the
vite.
camera
Je trouvais que c'était trop limité comme mode photo, un peu
so you
chiant.
can, like, fly around
Donc
much
si on peut changer des trucs, honnêtement, c'est pourquoi pas.
and
Ça pour le coup, c'est pas mal.
range,
Ok.
but also just more capabilities of taking shots. So as a player, I can finally, take shots that I really wanted to, and but yes, there's more actually coming and connected with that.
I mean, one thing that I'm super excited about is the lack of collisions for camera right now.
Yes, absolutely. So that was actually something that, as Amelia pointed out, a lot of you mentioned that you wanted to make a cool shot, let's say looking through the blinds in a window, that someone's behind it, and like Takemura, and you wanted to make a shot on Takemura, but it couldn't really right now because you can disable the collisions, you can actually approach.
On peut désactiver les collisions avec les éléments du décor et ça va me permettre d'accéder à des petits endroits où on n'est pas censé accéder en tant que joueur aussi. C'est pas mal.
With Reed. I mean, I spent like an hour there taking shots, but with the new camera, it's gonna be even better.
But also apart from collision, we also have the new aspect ratios that we actually added, like in the form of the.
So it's just gonna
photo mode.
Cropping, right?
Yeah, it's like the actual cropping, right?
Yeah.
So I can do like 6 very ultra wide or like super horizontal pictures, correct?
Yeah, you can take several formats and.
Différents formats de
And
photos.
sadly,
Ok.
this feature is PC only.
Ah, par contre, c'est que.
Aspect
D'accord.
ratio, yeah.
Yes, it's PC
Pour le
only,
ratio,
this
en
is
tout
a
cas,
technical
de
limitation. That's why this
Dû
is
à
how it
des
works.
technical
With,
limitations.
Virtuous Team,
Genre
we
sur Play 5,
took a
tu peux
look
pas faire un
into,
mode
like,
photo.
most popular aspect ratios that our players were
Ok.
using for
le dis,
various
mais-
photos, also for various social media, because you post your photos everywhere, which we really love seeing. So we wanted to provide you with an option, how to do it in a more effortless way, so you don't really have to go to Photoshop
Pour
or
ce qui
any
est
other
du partage des
any other program to cut it or crop it or do any other thing. Right now, it almost goes from
Ils
photo
peuvent pas
mode
nous
to the
troller en disant
form
pas de
that
New Game Plus,
is pretty
finalement il y en
much
a. Non, il n'y en aura
something
pas.
that you
Il n'y en aura pas.
update and publish. on
Ready to
social media.
publish.
Exactly, ready to
publish.
publish.
Okay, so
I
The
mean,
next
one more thing that is also something I'm super excited about is the lighting. I know there were some hacks with Cyberpunk where you could use like a muzzle light to, add light to your
Yeah.
shot, but we made it easier for our community now.
Yeah, we have 3 new lights with 2 different types. One that is very ambient and one that is way more precise. A spotlight, yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can really play
ils ont
with
rajouté
those
les
new lights
lumières
and play with
dans le mode
intensity too.
Bon,
So,
c'est
yeah,
déjà
it
de
gives
base dans certains autres modes photo sur d'autres jeux. J'avais pas vu qu'ils l'avaient pas mis. Ça peut faire des clichés sympas. Mais encore une fois, j'ai toujours un peu de mal avec les updates qui se basent pas mal aussi sur les modes photo. C'est que c'est pas quelque chose qui est... Comme dans Spider-Man, exactement. C'est parce que c'est quelque chose qui est pas vraiment utilisé par tout le monde, quoi. Enfin, mis à part les photographes gaming professionnels et ceux qui participent à des concours, etc., c'est pas tout le monde qui va utiliser en plus les lights dans les modes photo sur les jeux. Mais c'est un ajout cool, hein. C'est un ajout cool.
What else? So something also super cool. We know there was a possibility to spawn nibbles and take some pictures with nibbles, but we expanded that option, didn't we?
So now we can spawn up to 3 NPCs. So that's pretty cool. We have a list of more than 20 NPCs, I think.
Ah, ok, donc on peut rajouter des PNJ à nos photos. Il y a Panam et tout? Ok, bon bah c'est bon, c'est pardonné, c'est l'update du siècle. Voilà. Ok, non, c'est bon, j'ai rien dit. On peut faire des photos avec Panam, moi c'est bon. C'est bon. J'ai réussi ma vie. Et je dis on peut aussi.
Also, so you can have your revenge in photo mode.
Exactly.
On peut avoir Smasher? Oh, allez, putain, c'est incroyable. Fallait le dire dès le début, les gars.
So, things that kind of fit his personality, so you can take some cool shots.
Awesome. But
I cannot wait for like all the tweets with like #justice for Rebecca.
C'est pas mal ça, j'aime bien la ref.
It's actually funny, but like when we were working on the patch 1.6, I think, we added one thing that no players spotted, which made me really sad. And it's justice for Rebecca.
Il y avait un stickers justice for Rebecca.
We knew that, what happens to her. I'm not going to spoil the edge runners here because maybe someone didn't watch it. But if you wanted to take pictures like
mais je me souvenais pas. J'ai pas vu ce stickers, moi d'ailleurs. C'était sur le patch 1.6, j'ai pas vu.
No, Pavel, I saw people use the sticker. So that's not true.
Okay, well,
It's cool.
Sure. I'm glad that
Some people found it.
Okay.
So yeah, guys, just put everything that you have on internet to actually prove Pavel Sasko wrong. Okay? That they found it.
I love to be proven wrong. Yes.
Okay, so we added camera, new lighting. We have new characters that we can spawn. What else is coming to photo mode?
Il y a encore d'autres trucs sur mode photo?
Like maybe something for depth of field?
On va parler du profondeur de
Because I know
champ.
some people asked about it as well.
We're complaining about something.
Les gars, non, je vous kiffe, mais après, à doser quand même. Non?
There's a couple more tweaks that we have done in general to the photo mode. There's a lot of like smaller things. I would say maybe one of the bigger things that you'll see probably immediately is just completely reworked UI. Like that was a major upgrade of that whole mode. And yeah, I guess there's no point for me to explaining it. You'll see it, how it looks like. It's, the Virtuos team kind of redone it completely, almost. There are some elements that you'll recognize, of course, that used to be there, but now it's much, much better.
I mean, to start with, Cyberpunk photo mode was really, really cool. So by adding these things, we made it. I hope we won't have to use the external tools, but of course, feel free to do that. But we wanted it to be fair, especially for console players who aren't able to download the mods, etc. So once we take a cool picture, a cool screenshot in photo mode, we also added an opportunity to show that to the world, right?
Absolutely.
You can just on Twitter.
No, in the game.
In the game. You can see it yourself in the gallery, because there is a new gallery available in the menu, and you can also display it in your apartment. So you have some smart frames, and you pick a picture, you can zoom in, zoom out, adjust it, and then you have your picture in your apartment.
Ok, alors ça par contre c'est cool.
Pretty nice. Also in Dogtown.
Ça par contre c'est cool.
Dogtown, we didn't forget about that.
Pourquoi pas?
Yeah.
Prendre ses photos, les foutre sur un tableau qu'on met dans son appart, dans le jeu. Pourquoi pas? Parce que moi personnellement, pourquoi je me dis que c'est cool? Parce que Je peux faire 80 photos de Paname et les foutre toutes dans mon appart. Que des photos de Paname. Et alors là, je me dis, peut-être que la mise à jour est cool, peut-être en fait. Effectivement, peut-être.
With Panam, and then maybe taking a picture with hair, and then putting
tiens.
that picture in my apartment,
Bah ouais,
so
bah
now
ouais.
you can really, and then taking a picture of me with Panam and the picture at the wall. Anyway,
Bah ouais,
so
bah
you can really create the layers of storytelling here. But the whole intent here is just to give you more options.
Je force pas avec Paname, je dis juste que, enfin, voilà quoi. Ça va quoi, on a le droit de... tranquille, tout va bien quoi.
Your home.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And depending which apartment you bought, depending which romance you decided to go with, I guess you can really make it personalized for yourself.
I can already see like what Pavel you mentioned, like picture of Panam and then another picture of me
Tu vois,
and Panam. Like,
on parle tous de Paname. Hein.
Going infinite.
On parle tous de Paname.
I'm pretty sure someone will do it. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so we discussed what we can do with cars to express ourselves. We have new ways of actually showing our art of what we do, but that's not everything. I think the biggest change of expressing yourself is the character.
Changement dans la création de
creator.
perso.
Like we did some tweaks there.
Yeah.
So maybe let's start with what we added there.
We added quite a bunch of assets, more than 100. So now we have new eyes.
Ils ont rajouté 100
makeup,
assets,
new
nouveaux
cyberware,
yeux,
nails.
nouveau maquillage,
I did
nouveau
my nails for the
cyberware,
occasion. But yeah, and you
nouveaux
can find this one
ongles.
in the character
Oh yeah,
customization.
it's actually the relic one.
Exactly,
Right?
yeah. So yeah, wanted to show it because obsessed with nails.
Et très
Yeah,
belle
we have
manucure.
a lot of
Manucure.
new customization, and
Okay.
we're really proud of what we did. So we can't wait to see what you guys do with it.
D'accord.
So, yeah.
Exactly. And
Par contre,
when
nouvelle
we
coupe
were
de cheveux,
working
je suis pas
together
sûr.
with the Virtuos team, we were looking for various ways of how you can build your own character, right? And I remember discussions with our artists from Virtuos about like what we want to give our players more and what kind of depth maybe we're missing or what creates like additional options for role-playing in our world. And we
peut-être Aimé qui rajoute
concluded
plus de
that
coupe de cheveux,
there's a
perso.
couple
Mais
things.
après, c'est bon.
One way is
Après, il y avait déjà pas mal
various
d'options de
our art
personnalisation.
styles
Je
that
trouve
we
que le
have
mode
in the game.
personnalisation est quand
So
même pas
for
mal.
instance, the faceplates,
Et c'est un jeu dans lequel on voit pas trop
that
souvent
was
notre
one of the
perso,
things,
donc quand même.
It's very popular among modders, for instance, to add all of those elements to the V. So right now, actually, as a
Mais ça,
player,
par contre, du coup, ils ont rajouté les implants cybernétiques aussi.
faceplates that you can use, two
Pas
per
mal.
each art style. And my personal favorite is definitely the kitsch one, that you can really make your V looking like a member of the mocks, right? So that's the thought behind a lot of those updates that Pauline was just talking
yeux sont
about.
particuliers.
That you
Après, il y
can
avait déjà pas mal de
build your
couleurs de
character
yeux.
in a
C'est vrai
way
que là, il y a
that
deux pupilles,
he or
c'est un
she,
peu un bordel.
them, V
Mais,
belongs to the certain gang, to the certain group.
C'est vrai que
if
par
you
contre,
would
du coup,
like.
t'as un peu l'impression
But
qu'elle
there
est
are
dans
also
un.
corporations
Qu'elle est avec les
that
MOX ou un
we
truc du
thought
genre.
about actually adding, and Pauline has actually nails with the relic logo.
C'est vrai que la double
on it.
pupille est perturbante, mais la
So we
regardez pas
basically
trop
went
longtemps. Vraiment.
over loads of different brands in our game and look for those that could be appealing for you as a player. And also, like, it works with our lore. Because in Cyberpunk, like, a human is a product. You are, in a way, a commodity in that world. Therefore,
J'aime bien
decorating
le rouge à lèvres.
yourself with, like, tattoos that are elements of
Les cheveux, c'est
logotype
dur après
is
Dragon Age.
something
C'est
that
vrai
we'll
que c'est un
probably
peu
be
plus
seeing. It's
compliqué.
actually,
Mais-
nowadays, you can already see it happen. So if you go to that character customization,
Après, pour le cas du
you
nail
see
art,
loads of
c'est
different
autre chose.
options. Like
Yeah.
nails from various corporations.
Tu sais, il y a des gens qui vont dire on s'en fout. Bah, les mains du perso, c'est ce que tu vois tout le
and
temps.
much more that I can talk about.
Wow. Basically, we doubled the character customizations
Yeah.
that we had in the game, so there will be much more options
Donc,
for
voilà,
you
plus
right
d'options.
Yeah, like to be specific, we had like over 200, 212, I believe.
in the base
and I
one,
think we're adding like 112.
Ils ont rajouté
so like, we
112
had like
éléments.
half more.
Yeah, like-
but it's a significant amount of assets right now.
So, but also to inspire people, we added a cool randomizer in the character customization. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely.
Attendez,
in the character
ils avaient pas mis
customization, you can have
la
a
sélection
button that randomizes your
aléatoire.
character from plain to punk.
J'avais pas du tout vu. Donc en gros, on peut rajouter un paramètre aléatoire pour son perso au début. Par contre, fonction très intéressante, les petites cases, c'est les éléments que vous voulez garder lorsque vous changez le personnage. Donc si par exemple lui, vous vous dites lui j'aime bien ses yeux, vous bloquez et vous rechangez le perso. Là, il va vous remettre un truc différent, mais en gardant les éléments que vous aviez choisis. Mais alors, par contre, c'était déjà là? Dans ce cas, c'est juste cette fonction-là qui est nouvelle. Ok, bon, bah, dans ce cas, c'est juste le fait de pouvoir locker les trucs. Mais ce qui est déjà pas mal. Ça fait très longtemps que j'ai pas recréé de perso, moi. Is the bullet hole in the center of the forehead. So like when it finds that one, you know. Après, j'aime pas trop randomiser. So you can lock it on that randomizer, and then I already have that one locked. Then I randomize more, right? And let's say that finds me a cool looking tattoo, you know. For instance, we added 2 new completely custom body tattoos. One of them is like a scavenger. C'est bien pour les nouveaux joueurs. C'est bien aussi si on veut recommencer une game, hein. C'est pas impossible, hein. Voilà. Parce que je sais pas s'il y aura tant que ça de nouveaux joueurs, parce que je vous rappelle quand même que le jeu s'est vendu à 30 millions d'exemplaires. Vous allez me dire, Momo, ouais, c'est beaucoup, ou non, c'est pas beaucoup. Après, vous savez, Wars Legacy s'est vendu à ce chiffre-là, mais en un an. Je dis ça, je dis rien. Bon, ça reste énorme. Ça reste énorme. Ça reste très, 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 très... C'est beaucoup, 30 millions. C'est énorme. 30 millions en 4 ans, je précise. Après, je crois qu'il est passé les 20 millions, les 15 millions en un mois et demi à peu près, je crois. Il y a eu le démarrage, malgré la catastrophe technique que c'était, le démarrage était énorme. Énorme. J'ai revu les chiffres il y a 2 jours, c'était énorme. Je crois que c'était 15 millions en 3 semaines, je crois. C'était énorme. Après, ça a ralenti. Ils ont passé les 20 millions juste après Edge Runner. Et là, cette année, ou peut-être l'année dernière, ils ont passé les 30 millions, je crois. Pour une nouvelle licence, mais après, ils avaient déjà The Witcher en réputation. Donc,
so yeah, we cannot wait for seeing your creations, new creations, what you experimented with when it comes to the randomizer. But yeah, so I guess we can slowly,
bon, bah là, c'est la fin.
I mean, okay, so we are talking about expressing yourself via cars, via your art, via your screenshots, via your look, appearance. Anything else that we can find in the update, or do you want to keep something secret?
So as always, we have added a bunch of things that we won't talk about. You will find them if you look very closely. We are really trying to make sure.
Il dit en gros, si jamais vous voulez voir d'autres trucs nouveaux, regardez de plus près. Il y aura d'autres trucs, vous allez voir. L'achat, quoi. Vous trouverez des trucs.
To really be in that world. And there's a bunch of new things that happen.
Il y a des choses qui arriveront en ville aussi, mais on ne veut pas en dire plus.
Those are as always secrets that we love. Il
y a des secrets qu'on aime bien balancer aux joueurs, mais
so we'll see what you discover.
On vous laisse découvrir.
Probably some of them have not been discovered, have they?
Oh, I mean, they didn't find the stickers, so.
Yes, the sticker hurts. Well, I mean, I know personally about a couple that they haven't been found yet, and again, maybe someone found them in the solace of their house, and they were
of course, but
and they just enjoyed it and never
shared it. Et par
contre,
la question que je me posais, le stickers de Rebecca, et personne l'a vu?
However, I think there is a lot in that game, and we just added even more.
Nice. I mean, I remember like the last secret of The Witcher 3 was found like 8 years
secret
after release.
So
we still have time, guys. Anyway, we've been talking about this part for like 30-40 minutes now, and that's not everything. Like we have more. Patch notes will be on the website as usual, so you will be able to read everything in detail. But yeah, this is more the biggest changes.
Ça, c'est les plus gros changements.
That we wanted to tell you about,
Voilà.
and maybe we can do something cool before we wrap
Yeah.
up.
Et
So
cool,
we
de cool.
prepared a small surprise party
Il y a
for
plus
you
de
guys
surprises
today.
qui arrivent.
This is our board with some of the questions that we tried to Google for you. So yeah, maybe let's just start with
Yeah,
the
of
first.
course. You know, we were googling and we were checking.
C'est les questions que les gens cherchaient sur Cyberpunk.
What is our community looking for usually?
Les gens de la communauté, et là ils vont répondre.
Okay. Is this gonna hurt a lot, or
No,
just a little?
it's cool. It's
We
Attendez.
try to be,
Marrant.
gentle with you. Okay, so let's go with first one. Is Cyberpunk worth it?
Definitely yes.
Definitely is.
Est-ce qu'il vaut
Well,
le
I
coup?
mean, so like for me, it's always a matter of what players think. It's not for us to say, I think, at the end of the day. Is it worth it? It's up to you. Like you can say probably that we're really doing everything we can to show you and convince you that it is. But at the end of the day, you're the final judge, So maybe try it out.
J'ai pas vu la dernière question.
And tell us.
I mean,
what
we
you
can
think.
start by asking our community,
attendez.
is Cyberpunk 2077 worth it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question. Is Johnny Silverhand
Est-ce que Johnny Silverhand...
left-handed?
That's pretty random.
That is maybe a bit random, but it's actually very important because the answer is yes. Actually, John is left-handed, though he has trained his right hand, so he's using it sometimes. You can see it in some scenes that his left hand is his dominant
C'est quoi ces
hand.
questions?
For instance, when he smokes, when he holds
Qui va
the
sur
guitar,
Google
actually,
pour taper
there's a lot
est-ce
of
que
moments like
Johnny
that,
Silverhand
also when Johnny
est
takes over
gaucher?
V, as he does
tapes
that
ça?
throughout the game, V actually uses left hand sometimes a bit more. So there was an intent to do it like this. Again, this is very subtle. And again,
peut-être les
in
cosplayers.
Cyberpunk
Mais non, mais on s'en
2077,
fout,
there's
parce
a
que tu
lot
sais
of
que
things
sur
that
le gauche-
are made with an intent that it's a bit subtle, and it's just make you feel that you are in that world, and it feels very authentic
Va
and
arrêter de me saouler avec
natural.
Bloodborne, il n'y a pas de
And
Bloodborne.
until you really deconstruct it into elements, you can maybe sometimes tell exactly why it feels this authentic, but that's the reason, because we pay attention to
C'était
things
une
like this.
question,
To
d'accord,
the fact
ok,
that
super.
he actually was left-handed in the lore. And again, 50 years passed when he was in the Shard, so if things changed and happened, he also needs both hands sometimes in the scenes in our game, but definitely left hand is his dominant one.
Okay. We try to, match those questions to what we will be talking about, and that's why Adam Smasher is here.
Okay.
So, is Adam
Est-ce que Adam
Smasher
Smasher
the strongest?
est le plus fort?
It's like one of the favorite
Techniquement,
questions
du coup,
from
non.
our community. I know. Well, the
Techniquement,
so
c'est
Edge
dur,
Runners anime did, I think, great job with depicting the might of Adam Smasher.
C'est vrai que
We
tu sens
also,
beaucoup plus la puissance de
in
Smasher dans Edge
1
Runner que dans le jeu.
upgraded the way he fights. So when he moves around and uses his Sandevistan,
that's
you can see that badass trail that he leaves. So he's definitely one that is definitely out there. In 2077, there are moments when in the flashback, in the past, you can see him in the progress when he was yet not that augmented. So
Attends, excusez-moi une petite seconde. Excusez-moi, parce qu'en fait je déteste le spam en fait, c'est chiant de ouf. Me saouler avec Bloodborne. Arrêtez en fait. Donc vous allez prendre l'air 10 minutes là. Vous allez parler de Bloodborne ailleurs. C'est pas vrai ça.
Next question. Who is...
Qui est
I need to help me.
la meilleure quelle est la meilleure romance dans Cyberpunk?
Who's the best
Bon,
romance?
globalement, on
Maybe
sait qui
start
c'est.
with Pauline.
Actually, I don't really know. I would say maybe, I would say Judy.
That's a good choice.
Yeah,
valid choice.
yeah, I would say Judy, but they're all good. But
No.
Judy would be my favorite, yeah.
Who's the best romance in Cyberpunk? Oh my god.
But they're all good, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really hard question for me.
Who do you like the most?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Panam. Yeah, I would probably go with Panam, but honestly, like, I also really like Kerry. Eurodyne. Also because like he is one of the characters that I spend a lot of time working on, because like parts of the
Ah oui,
quest,
mais
you
t'as
know,
travaillé
the
beaucoup.
concert
Bah oui,
and
frérot.
others are the ones that I
Tu sais,
worked on, designed,
tu les as
implemented
designés et tout,
myself, so
ok,
because of that, my
ok.
heart
Mais
is kind of
tu
there.
sais, ton cœur il va à
But, you know,
qui?
I really enjoy, you know, what we did with Judy in the game, and you know, like even River Ward and his quest, especially the investigation part, I really
C'est pas
dig
faux que la
that.
quête
So,
avec River
it's really
Ward, elle
difficult for me.
est pas mal.
If I'm honest, I guess I would probably pick
Mais
Panam. Though, me personally, I also love Stout, also because she's my character, and I made, and the Venus in Fierce is my quest, so
Panam,
you
on
can
est les
probably
boss.
tell from the content. So.
Pavel.
The good thing is,
I didn't know you from that side.
the good thing is the stream is 18 plus.
Yes, yes. Sorry for making you pick like your favorite child.
Yeah.
And the last
one
question.
is
When
very
is
important
Cyberpunk?
question.
When is Cyberpunk
Update coming.
update
Coming.
coming?
Oh my God.
Oh,
The update is coming now.
Exactly.
ouais.
So right after the stream, you
L'update
will
est
be
dispo
able
maintenant.
to go to whichever store you have
Ouais.
your game on and just download the update right
C'est
in
dans
like
15
15
minutes.
minutes maybe.
Maybe like
Exactly,
Ouais.
exactly, my dear. So, enjoy. We have put a lot of work into this. I know that you know we keep updating this game, and it feels like we cannot stop. But that's exactly what it is. We love it, and we really want you to love it and feel that we really care about it. So it would be awesome if you can just try it out, download it, and tell us what you think. Try new photo mode. Try crystal code, twin tone, gallery, smart frames. Just and tell us what you think.
Yeah, just share your screenshots, share your craziest Vs with the character creation, your craziest car colors. We're very interested in what you create.
yeah, and then we can maybe, who knows, feature you on our social media channels.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe we still have a surprise or two left for you.
Maybe.
You will see
never know,
soon
you
enough.
never know. Okay, Pavel, Pauline, thank you for joining us. Today we have a special gift for both of you.
Ils ont un
Oh
cadeau
my
pour
God,
eux.
really?
Yes,
Very special stream. There's so many.
Yes, one of our partners, Madrinas, prepared this awesome coffee for us with a special Cyberpunk shaker, and we have the limited edition for both of you.
Bon, c'était sympa. Après, bon.
I hope you enjoy it.
Ça, par contre, je suis désolé.
Let
Hein,
us know what
qu'on
you
qu'on
think.
vienne pas me dire ah mais non mais t'inquiète,
We'll post on social
ils ont encore
media.
plein de trucs à développer. Non non,
Exactly.
faut arrêter 30 secondes.
Right.
Ils
Yeah,
ont
and
fini.
exactly. And
Il
before,
n'y a plus personne
before
qui
we
bosse
wrap
sur
up,
le
I
jeu
just wanted to
actuellement
do one
quasiment.
tiny thing.
Ils sont passés
Shout
par
out for
Virtuos
Virtuos team
pour
Yeah, I
in
wanted to
Paris.
do that.
C'est
Yeah,
bon.
yeah, absolutely.
On sent
Thank
que les
you
mecs
very
ils
much
sont
to them,
sur
but they're
Witcher
not
4
here
là.
today because
Ça y est.
they're really
bon.
rock stars. It's been such a
Si
pleasure to
l'update
work with
c'est la
them.
customisation de
So yeah,
véhicules,
a special shout out to them.
rajouter
Thank
des
you for
coupes de
mentioning
cheveux et
that.
tout
Of
dans
course, of course. And I
dans la
personally
création de
really
perso et
enjoyed
tout.
working
Enfin,
with
tu
Virtuos.
sens que les mecs,
They are amazing partner.
enfin, tu sens que là c'est fini, c'est fini. Là voilà, là, vamos, la suite c'est Witcher 4 là. Ça y est.
I'm sure once our community plays the update, they're gonna appreciate
Ah,
your
voilà,
work
quoi.
as well.
I hope. Absolutely.
Il y aura probablement des
so
corrections de bugs,
that's it
oui,
for-
2-3
for-
aussi, voilà,
for
viteuf,
today, what we
pour la
prepared for
fin,
you.
quoi, pour la forme, quoi.
Don't forget the patch is live now, so make
Non,
sure
faut pas
to go and
réinvestir non
download,
plus
you
150
know,
heures,
the
mais
patch.
mais bon,
Xbox Series X and S.
on verra. Là, de toute façon, ils sont en full prod sur Witcher 4, donc ça me
Yeah,
paraît
we cannot
compliqué de...
prolong it because you have
de
to
rajouter
go
des
and
trucs de
play
fou.
the game, right?
So we'll just let you know.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Donc,
Bye.
ok.
Bye.
Salam. Voilà donc pour cette petite prise de parole de CD Projekt. Donc en gros, donc ce qu'on retient... attendez, excusez-moi, tac. Ce qu'on retient donc, c'est qu'on a effectivement c'est cette customisation de véhicules, tout ça. Donc en gros, ça arrive aujourd'hui, d'ailleurs maintenant. Qu'on a certaines options pour la création, personnalisation du personnage. On va pouvoir également avoir plein de trucs dans le mode photo qui vont changer. Notamment le fait de pouvoir changer un peu certains tableaux de son appartement pour mettre des photos qu'on a prises dans Night City dans notre appart. Voilà, hein, c'est une update. Ce qu'il y a de plus classique en fait. Et c'est à peu près tout. Voilà. Pas grand chose de plus à dire en fait. Hein. Sacré orga pour si peu de choses. Bah, tu vois, c'est un peu ce que je crains pour les Game Awards aussi. Non mais voilà quoi. C'est pour une match pas prévue, c'est vraiment trop cool je trouve, ok. PS5 Pro ils ont dit que ce serait pas le cas et New Game Plus pareil. Donc ils ont toujours dit non les gars, ce sera pas le cas. Après pour les personnes qui effectivement ont un kiff sur le mode photo et tout, ouais c'est des ajouts qui sont cool. Après pour le commun des mortels, je sais pas si ça va convaincre tout le monde, mais après j'ai envie de dire le jeu il a 4 ans, ils sont en pleine prod maintenant sur le 4 pour The Witcher. Ouais tu sens que en fait ils passent à autre chose quoi. Progressivement. Update, tout ce qu'il y a de plus classique. Voilà. Donc voilà un peu le délire. Et puis c'est vrai que tout ça c'est gratos. Donc derrière, bon. Ça va quoi. Ça passe. Le patch PS5 Pro, je pense que soit ils ont pas le temps, soit ils sont bloqués avec le deal marketing avec Xbox. Est-ce que le deal c'est terminé? Parce que le deal il devait durer combien de temps? Il devait pas durer 10 ans non plus hein. Je sais pas. Y a rien à voir, c'est une match commune, c'est tout. Pas besoin d'en faire des caisses pour si peu. Bah, je pense qu'ils se sont juste posés et qu'ils ont dit on va le faire en mode discussion quoi. Après, ouais, c'est sûr que forcément, tu te dis ok, bon, autant faire juste un post quoi. Mais bon, voilà quoi. Normalement, oui, on fait une libre antenne jeudi soir, oui. Normalement. Il y avait un deal avec Xbox pour Cyberpunk. Bah, c'était au conf Xbox. Il y a une Xbox One X spéciale Cyberpunk et tout. Il y avait un deal. Par contre, je crois qu'il est terminé depuis belle lurette. Je pense. Ça aurait été mieux de dire ça en 10 minutes sur leur site plutôt que mater un stream de 50 minutes. C'est un peu le sentiment qui est ressorti aujourd'hui. C'est un peu ça, ouais. C'est clair. Mais bon, voilà quoi. J'ai vu le mode photo et la custom de véhicule, mais après, c'est tout. Il y a eu, alors par contre, ils ont rajouté 117 assets dans la création de personnages. Donc cheveux, tout ça, physique. Et c'est tout. Non, j'ai oublié quelque chose. Oui, je crois que c'est ça. Mode photo, custom de véhicule. Oui, je crois que c'est ça. Et le patch, normalement, il sort là dans 10 minutes. Voilà un peu ce qu'il faut retenir. Pourquoi ils mettent pas du New Game Plus? Vraie question. J'ai pas la réponse à la question. Je pense que s'ils l'ont toujours pas rajouté, c'est peut-être pour une bonne raison. Donc voilà. Donc rien de fou, hein. Rien de foufou. Logique, quoi. Bref. Sur ce, moi les potes, je vous retrouve du coup tout à l'heure. Rendez-vous à 19h. Pour... Ah oui, je suis autofixeur des nouveaux véhicules, effectivement. Voilà. Donc oui, je voulais dire... Rendez-vous donc à 19h pour avoir la vidéo bilan des 4 ans de Cyberpunk, que je vous ai un peu concocté. N'hésitez pas à aller la voir. J'espère qu'elle sera cool pour vous. Rendez-vous aussi demain pour de nouvelles aventures. Et jeudi, ça va être le Dawa. C'est 12 Go le patch, d'accord. Ok. Bon bah n'hésitez pas à aller tester tout ça par vous-même. Je retourne regarder Secret Level, parce qu'honnêtement, c'est vraiment trop bien. J'aurais adoré un épisode de Secret Level sur Cyberpunk, mais bon, malheureusement, on n'a pas tout ce qu'on veut. Et voilà quoi. Question avant, t'es sur Twitch aussi ou non? Je suis sur Twitch, moi oui, mais je fais plus trop de live en ce moment, j'ai plus trop le temps. Mais voilà. C'est OP. Donc voilà, à tout à l'heure pour la vidéo, à demain pour d'autres vidéos, et à jeudi en live pour les Game Awards, sauf s'il y a un truc de fou qui se passera entre temps, et qui justifierait le fait que je fasse un stream. Mais pour l'instant, ça semble plutôt désert. Voilà, voilà. De gros bisous. J'ai pas de scène d'outro, toujours pas. Et à tout vite. Voilà, voilà. Ciao, ciao.